problematic things that I see in the media all the time is this depiction that like men are terrified of marriage, or that like their wife is a ball and chain, or like they're being dragged towards the aisle. Like, why do that? Like, why create this divide where it's like the women are super excited to get married, but then the men are terrified? If your husband is really that scared to get married to you, dump him.
So my uncle around 20 years ago was divorced. He fell madly in love with this woman that he was with, and they had 3 children together. And he would put in regularly 100-hour work weeks because he worked 3 separate jobs trying to support that family. And he found out one day that she was cheating on him through a coworker of his. And she found out that he found out and filed for divorce. And he had to live in his car for about 5 years, still paying the mortgage for the house that he's not living in, and paying child support for those 3 children that he only got to see when they turned 18. It's that sort of shit, though, why I'm terrified of marriage, because I would have lost my life over that sort of ordeal, honestly. But dude, just dump him, queen. Dump him. His feelings don't matter.
Hey man, I'm about to go in. I'm just gonna hop straight into it, man. No really intro. Y'all know who it is. It's Ty. So last night, I'll say I spent about a good hour and 30 minutes just analyzing every single part of this video, cause it was that interesting to me. I try to be as unbiased as possible. So, you know, I paid attention to both perspectives very closely. Every single little thing they said, man, I broke it down, baby. You feel me? That video, you know, it's from TikTok or whatever. It's very, very interesting. I understand both perspectives. I'll start by saying that. And I agree on both perspectives. I think it's a thing about interpretation, how you interpret it, that really defines your approach. I agree with her perspective, and this is why. If you are a guy who doesn't want to get married, and she's a girl who really wants to get married, that's her values, that's a non-negotiable for her. You have to want to get married. And if you don't want to get married, she should dump you. Cause why would you want her to stay there if she don't want to be there? She's tired of hearing these stories of the guy getting dragged down the aisle. As a man, you should never, I don't want to hear it, bruh. I don't want to hear it. If you a man and you talking about, oh, she made me marry her, bro, that you feel me? That makes your stock go down. You become less valuable of a man at that point, because a man should never settle for less. If you're a man, you should be like, hey, this is what I'm with. You can either get with it or you can leave. Either way, I'm gonna be straight. But if you a man and you saying that she kind of forced me into marriage, that's not the way to go, bro. If you a man, you can't be settling for a marriage if you don't want a marriage. If you want a marriage, go ahead and do it. Who am I to tell you that you shouldn't get married? But one thing that she was saying at the first thing that she said is she was tired of the media portraying the fact that men just hate marriage and then women really love marriage. That's not always the case, but a lot of the times it is the case, and men are starting to realize that. Now, mind you, I'm just a 20-year-old dude, bro. I'm just 20 years old. I got a long life to live. But at this point in my life, I'm not planning on getting no marriage. Not no westernized, sign these papers. Signing papers don't sound really romantic to me. But hey, I understand that a lot of females want to get married. Like the guy was saying in the video, that's a terrible ass story, bro. That's a sad story to hear. You never want to hear a story like that. He said his uncle was married to a woman and they had kids together. You know, he working 3 jobs, 100 hours a week, trying to support this family. And then she, not only does she cheat on him, but she cheats on him with his coworker. She probably played the victim card, like, oh, why would you do this to me? Why would you find out that I'm cheating on you? You know, the females know that they're gonna get the upper hand in a divorce. They know that. They're not stupid. So this dude was living in his car for 5 years, bro. Legally, a marriage will never work in the guy's favor. Let's just be real. It never does legally. She knows that if she leaves you, she gonna be way better off than if she was with you. So it makes sense why a lot of guys will be terrified of marriage. But let's just think about the female perspective. You know, They spend their whole life since a little girl fantasizing about this whole wedding, this whole honeymoon, and, you know, getting ready for the wedding, getting this nice little dress. You can go, you can do all that. You know, they fantasize this. This is all they want since they were a little girl. Now they grow up and they're like, hey, this is the time. So I don't think that the media is necessarily like, you know, saying anything wrong in this case. You know, a lot of times this is what it's like. The guy doesn't want to get screwed over because he knows better. The girl is about, you know, this is everything she's been dreaming of. Why wouldn't she want it? Back in the day when females, you know, when it was really a trade-off, like real gender roles, the female was a stay-at-home mom. She took care of the kids. She cleaned the house. She cooked and everything. She didn't have a job. And then the guy he brought home the bacon, basically, right? He did the work to get the monetary value. That was his job. That was the roles of the time. But, you know, we're in 2021, and if we're really fighting for equality, I want equality. I want it to be more equal. I don't think that females are less than males or above males. I don't think anybody is above or below. We're just different, but we deserve equal treatment in a lot of situations. And this is one of them. Let's say that both the male and the female are working. They're in the workforce. They're making money. They're able to survive by themselves because, you know, she's an independent female and he's an independent male. They just happen to come together. So if they get divorced, why should she get a percentage of what he gets? Why should he have to supply her more money if they're both doing the same thing? They're both working. They both literally do the same things, bro. And we're talking 2021. It's a lot of things that females can do that males do as well. There aren't really gender roles like that anymore. Even if you sign a prenup or whatever, even no matter what you do, bro, she's gonna get some of your assets. It might be a small percentage, but you're gonna lose more than you gain when you divorce. She's gonna gain more than she loses when y'all get divorced. And that's the perspective that the guy was talking about. He was saying he is terrified, and a lot of guys are terrified. I understand that perspective, but I would say that it's not good to be terrified because this is going into the whole psychological thing. You being terrified is you reacting to the situation emotionally, which is why he said, you know, go ahead, break his heart, queen. Don't care about his feelings. Just break up with him. You could tell it struck a chord with him, and I understand because it was a family member that he saw go through this secondhand. He was literally seeing his family member do this, and I completely understand. And I feel like saying that you're terrified is like kind of being conflicting, like you're conflicted, like you do want to get married because you want to be, you know, you want to be in a relationship with a female that you really care about, and you want to, you know, all the good parts about it, but you also conflicted because you're like, but this is definitely gonna whoop my ass if we get divorced, or if she decides, hey, I want some money. You feel me? She knows it's an easy come up, easy. She ain't gotta do nothing but sign some divorce papers, and he gotta agree. And then, you know, she getting free money, and like, especially if you have kids with her, bro. If you have kids with her, she getting child support too, bro. What? She knows it's easy. But I don't think that you should be terrified, because terrified means like you're conflicted between I do want to do it and I don't want to do it. That's how I see it. I understand why, you know, like I said, this is everything that females have been dreaming for since they were young. And I understand it, you know. I like the idea of the wedding. I like the idea of the honeymoon. But that's all they think about. That's all they often think about. I'm not saying that all of them only think about that, but oftentimes that's what they like. They like, oh, look at my family. Both sides of my family came to see me get married in my pretty little white dress, and oh, my makeup and my hair is done and everything. And then after this, we go out to somewhere, and then we do all these fun things. But you know, after you do all that, real life hits again. You gotta go back to your job. You gotta, you know, you gotta do everything. It's a, you know, it's a real situation. It's another thing on your plate that you have to deal with. You have to nurture this relationship, just like anything. If the guy isn't thinking for himself, he's gonna get trapped in this whole dream, this whole fantasy that the female was wanting as well. And then she might realize, hey, you know what? I just like the wedding. I just like the honeymoon. That was fun. All right, now I'm gonna head out. I'm gonna take your money. I'm gonna take some of your assets, and I'm gonna head out of here. And I'm gonna get that money. You know, me personally, bro, like I said, I'm only 20, but I don't want to get married like, you know, sign papers with the government type married. When I'm talking about my marriage, I'm talking about, you know, have the wedding and have the honeymoon and everything, have everything but the government jumping in, and I would do all that fantasy stuff, and then because I know that she wants it, and then if she's a stay-at-home mom, if she wants to play that role, and if that's who I choose, and I'm like, okay, you can do that, you know, I feel like it would be fair for me to try to, you know, at least like a 2-year contract saying like she gets some of my assets if we do possibly have a divorce or something, right? No matter what happens, bro, I don't want to be an asshole and just dump this girl off to the side of the street if things don't go the way that it's supposed to, you know? She was relying on me to be the breadwinner. But oftentimes that's not gonna happen, bro. Not in this day and age. They too independent, bro. And I think that's cool. You know, I don't have a problem against independence, but I think, you know, with great power comes great responsibility, right? If we're both working, if we're both doing damn near the same things, if you screaming equality, then I think when it comes to legal situations, equality is true there as well, you know? So if we get divorced and she's a working person as well, why should she get something of mine? And I don't want to be in a relationship where it feels like, oh, we gotta stick to each other because the law says we have to, or else it's gonna be a long, drawn-out process. No, I want you to, you know, I want you to feel like you can wake up next to me every single day and then choose to be with me. I want you to have that freedom to walk out if you want to. Why would you want to stay with somebody that you don't want to stay with? Like, I don't want to put anybody, I don't want to put myself, and I don't want to put her in that situation where we're legally obligated to be together, right? A lot of people have seen those marriages where it's like, oh, I hate my spouse, but we have to be together, or else divorce is long. Nah, bro. If she wants some type of commitment, like you want me to show that I'm serious? Like, we can get matching tattoos or something. Not like my face or my name or nothing, but you know, like how Stephen Curry and Aisha have the double greater than sign or whatever that he has on his arm. I think that's what that is. But they both got matching tattoos. Like, I'll do that. I'll do something small like that. Not small, but you know, that's I feel like that shows some type of commitment when people get matching tattoos. I'm not gonna get your fucking name tatted on me. I'm not about to get your name tatted on me. I'm not that crazy. I feel like the man in this video and the female in this video weren't really seeing the other person's perspective. Like, the way that he said it, he was worried about his feelings. He's like, go ahead, queen, break up with him. Don't care about his feelings. What you want her to do, bro? What you want her to do in that situation? You ever been with you ever heard about a story of, it's a girl who's trying to sleep with this dude because he got money, and she know she'll get money if she sleep with him. So, you know, she sleeps with him, but she's not doing nothing. She's just laying there like a dead dog. She don't want to be here, and he can tell. Does that feel good to him, bro? Is he really enjoying it like how he wants to? If she wants some marriage, and she really wants some marriage, and you don't want it, what you want her to do? Just stay there and waste all her years, bro? Chances are, if she's looking for a marriage, she's done with her young years. She might be out of her prime or whatever, and she's looking to settle down, bro. I hate to say it, but her biological clock, well, it's the truth. Her biological clock is winding down. She's trying to settle down. She's trying to have kids, and you know, she know that she's not gonna be able to produce kids forever. And you over here saying you don't want a marriage. You don't want that right now, bro. It's gonna work best for both of y'all if y'all don't stick together, bro. It's like if somebody is a Buddhist and you're not a Buddhist, everything else fits, right? But that's a non-negotiable for them. They not gonna marry anybody that's not in the same religion as them. What say they should just stick with you? That's non-negotiable for them. So you should let them walk out and find somebody better for them, because they're not gonna enjoy knowing that they have this conflict in them. Like, I just settled for less. I just got with somebody who, you know, was something that I really value. They don't have the same values as me, and now I settled. Nobody should have to settle, whether you the female or the male. Nobody should have to settle for you. I understood the female perspective as in, you know, if he doesn't want to get married, break up with him. Yes, okay? And then this is me trying to understand the male perspective. If you're a girl and you talking about marriage, you do have to consider, if he doesn't want to get married, you have to understand why he doesn't want to get married. You have to understand the thinking behind it. And you know, that's why you have to have a conversation about this thing. You can't be that person, you can't be that girl who's talking about equality, you screaming equality, until it's not in your favor. You can't be a convenient type of person. With that the situation in California where there's a white preppy kid who was a Crip or whatever. He was with all the black people, the Crips. He was with them, throwing up the gang signs, you feel me? He was with them. He was loyal to the soil, right? Until it came to legal trouble. Then he had a future ahead of him, right? He wasn't thinking about his future ahead of him when he was rocking with them, when he was getting the clout from being a Crip, or for, being with the black people. He wasn't thinking about his future. He was thinking about, this gonna give me some cool points. This gonna give me some rep, you feel me? This gonna up my reputation with the people, with the culture. But when it comes into legal trouble, he not really down. He only there when it's convenient. That's the point that I'm trying to make. You can't be a person that supports a certain idea only when it's convenient. You gotta see it you gotta be all seeing. You gotta see it from all perspectives and truly decide if you want to rock with it or you don't. So for the females, if you want to get married, you got to understand the perspective of the guy, of why he might not want to get married, and see if you can possibly negotiate something. Not debate, not argue, but listen, understand the other perspective. And the guy, you gotta understand why she wants to get married. You gotta listen to her. You gotta listen to her and everything that she's saying. You gotta listen to her perspective. If that's what she values and you don't value that, you should be okay with her walking away, because that's what she values. Why should she break her values for you? But that's why you have conversations. You don't have debates. You don't have arguments. You have conversations. See the other perspective, hear them out, listen to them, understand, and see if you can come to an agreement. There is no male versus female. There shouldn't be no black versus white. There is no this versus that, bruh. We shouldn't be living like that. That's not the way to live. We need to come to an agreement. We may differ in certain opinions, but we have to be able to come together to some type of agreement and understanding. At least an understanding. Maybe not always an agreement, but an understanding. Therefore, we learn to not hate the other side. We learn to not despise the other side, and we can work a lot better together. That's what I got for this video. I don't know how long this shit was, but it feels like it's long as hell. I don't know how people are going to take this. I don't know how y'all going to take this, but this is my perspective. I think it's important. Like I said, I'm all seeing Ty, so I can't just favor one. I can't be biased on one side. I have to give the overall perspective of things. Yeah, man, hopefully I can review some more videos if I find them, or if y'all put me on to something. I don't know. But yeah, that's what I got for this video. Like it if you liked it. Dislike it if you didn't like it. But don't dislike it. Leave a comment if you wish, and subscribe for more content from All Seeing Ty. And I'm out, man. Peace.